So hello everybody, my name is Dave Foley. I am with Hasmark Publishing International, and my guest today is Mark Wilkinson from...
I'm a DJ from London, and I was resident DJ at Ministry of Sound when I was 25, which is a world-renowned nightclub here in London. And but I've travelled the globe, 65 countries. I've been very fortunate to do a lot of great things in my life.
So you're kind of from everywhere. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. So your book, Life Remixed, that encompasses an awful lot, and it's a very personal part of your life. Could you just explain kind of high level what it's about?
Yeah, I mean, Life Remixed is something I've been thinking about for 10 years, maybe even slightly more. And it's a book that I knew that I was going to write when I physically collapsed, and I was I'd lost my health completely. I was in a terrible state in my early 30s, and so after a few years of recovery and getting myself back together, I knew that I was going to write this book because I knew that I could help some people. I knew I'd learned some stuff that I could help some people. So in a nutshell, if we go from this is how much fun it was, because it was fun, just straight up, it was fun.
Sure.
We had a lot of mad times, a lot of traveling the globe, and sex, drugs and house music and all sorts of crazy stuff that was going on. This is how much fun it was, but this is how bad it got when I collapsed, and I was unable to walk for 18 months. And I got suicidal thoughts, and I was just thinking, my life is done here. I'd always been the party guy, the guy at the front, DJing to all thousands of people all over the world, and all of a sudden it was gone. It was just gone at 33. And there were times when I thought to myself, well, is this it now? Am I going to be in agony and pain the rest of my life? I was living off hundreds of painkillers a month, and it was just shocking, really. But then this is how we fixed it. And this was how I fixed it. And it genuinely started when I was reaching out for some help on a detox in Scotland, trying to sort out another health issue in my stomach. And these guys gave me a DVD, it was at the time, a DVD of The Secret.
Wow.
They told me to watch it. And Brian Miller, I'll always love you for this, Brian. He gave me a DVD of The Secret, and he said, watch this. And I watched it once, and I gave it back to him. And he gave it straight back to me, and he said, watch it 100 times.
Wow.
Yeah, it's the repetition of the right information which programs your subconscious mind. I studied hugely with Bob Proctor. I studied hugely with Tony Robbins. I now do a lot of business and coaching and mentoring here in the UK with the guy called Kevin, who shared the stage with Tony Robbins. And I just learned so much. I learned so much about, through failure, through crisis, through pain, through real pain. I learned so much.
I've heard that it doesn't have to hurt for you to get better or to improve, but most people aren't motivated to improve until it hurts on some level. And it's too bad that you actually have to collapse and go into this 18-month tailspin, if you will, to get to that point where you're able to dig deep within yourself to find the mustard, to get up and go do it. You're right.
The purpose of this book, Dave, is to help other people not to have to go into that tailspin.
Yes, exactly. I get that. Yeah. So good for you. Yeah. So if for anybody out there who's unsatisfied with their life, it's being unsatisfied is a very good way to be. So even if it doesn't really hurt yet, you're looking for a bigger calling in life. Life Remixed is about that. Of course, the remixed part being, having been a DJ, you do a lot of music mixing. So remixing your life to come out on top.
I was also a record producer with a record in the top 10 in the UK. So I've done a lot of production, a lot of remixing of Kylie and David Guetta, and I've done remixes of all kinds of tracks and worked with huge artists, and I've done some great, amazing stuff. It was a young man's dream.
Yes.
Much of it was a young man's dream until it wasn't.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's such a balance between that, and that's difficult too for people that are actually living the dream, if you will. not to burn out, because that can happen too.
Yeah, it happened. It happened dramatically to me when I physically collapsed. I was laying on the floor in a flat that I was sharing with my brother at the time. He was laughing at start with and was like, "Are you all right?" And I was just like, "No, I don't know what's happened, but my legs just given way. I can't get up." And my dinner went flying because I was carrying it on a tray, and the whole thing was it was shocking. And he helped me up and laid me on the sofa. He said, "What happened?" I was like, "I don't know." And then from then on, it just got worse and worse over 18 months. It was like someone was just really just turning up like a temperature gauge in my body, and my body felt like it was burning. I couldn't sleep for more than 2 hours at a time. I was taking ibuprofens. I was like, like they were going out of fashion. I was trying anything I could, but it was just impossible. My body felt like it was on fire. And the opposite to that, it actually froze up as well. So although it felt it was on fire, it froze up. All my joints froze up. I couldn't get out of a car. I couldn't DJ. I couldn't walk around. I was skinny. I was so skinny. I was like a little waif, and it sucked the life out of me. And I for want of a better expression, I couldn't explain it. I didn't know what was happening. And then someone gave me the secret, and Bob Proctor, God bless him, Bob Proctor said, "A dis-ease is 2 words."
Yes.
And dis-ease being 2 words means, if you're emotionally and your mind, if you're at ease, you cannot have a dis-ease. But then a doctor just told me that I was unlucky. You've got an incurable disease, mate. Take these drugs for the rest of your life and you'll be all right. And well, nothing new there then. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
I'll just keep taking your medication then and I'll be all right. But the seed had been planted by Bob in that film. And I promised myself that I would shake Bob's hand, and I flew to America a few years ago, and I went on a conference, and I stood on the stage, shook his hand, said thank you to him for his input and what he did, because he changed my perception, and he started the journey towards this book, which I'm forever grateful for.
Wow, I love it. Yeah, that's a beautiful thing to wake up like that. And I think more and more, and because of the efforts of people like Bob, the world is actually waking up to these things. And so it's what we need on such a high level. There's a bit of a balancing act between you can't have the light without the dark. So you can't have the good without the bad, but there's so much need, especially in this COVID world that we live in now. There's so much need for more light and more love in the world, and more of that positive thinking and all of that. So it's wonderful. And the secret was really a turning point that woke, I think, a lot of people up, because I hear that all the time. We talked earlier today, one of the sayings, I wrote it down here, keep calm and speed up.
Well, you nearly got it right. So we were talking earlier about the keep calm and carry on. Keep calm and carry on, which was basically came up, I believe, in the Second World War, when the Germans were bombing here in London. And people were saying keep calm and carry on because they had bombs landed on them. I mean, we can't even imagine that, can we? But that's the thing that got me, the thing that helped me become an author, because I've been dreaming about this book for 10 years, like I said. The thing that helped me was another phrase that I got from working with Bob with his programs and stuff, which was calm down, speed up. Calm down, speed up is without doubt one of the best pieces of advice I've ever been given, because I used to live my life in a state of kind of like total turmoil, and I think it says, it does in the book, inner turmoil to inner peace. And it was, my life was turmoil. I was up, down, left, right, here, there, all over the place. Didn't know what I was doing half the time. Certainly wasn't living from a conscious level, was just surviving, to be honest.
Right.
And calm down, speed up is a beautiful piece of advice, because I am the calmest that I've ever been in my life right now. I now run 10 companies. We've got numerous properties. I've written this book. We've just got everything. I've got married. Life is great. It's all happened because of calmness, serenity.
Wow.
Positive emotions. All my negative emotion, all my negative thoughts and negative emotions led me to incurable disease and bankruptcy ultimately. Then I had to take responsibility for all of that. So yeah, okay, dust myself off. I had the choice. I could have gone and jump off a bridge, but I was like, no, dust myself off. Let's go again. Let's make this right. Let's do it better. I can do it better. I know I can do it better. I reached out for all the help. I asked for all the help from Proctor, Robbins, Kevin Green, all these amazing people. And they continue to help me. And all I do now is learn. And then I put all of it into this book, and I'm like, here. And I want to help so many more people, because I believe that there is joy, there is happiness, there is positive emotions, and you can live in them full time if you want to. I'm fortunate enough to be able to do that. But living there full time in the positive emotions is just something wonderful. I had to choose to do it, and I had to create it, and I had to be that person. But honestly, for me, David, as you well know yourself, it's so rewarding, and you get such a lot of joy from it.
You made the decision to do it. And so when people decide to buy this book, when they decide to read it, when they decide to follow your advice, they're going to get the same kind of results.
Yeah,
I know any entrepreneur who has one or two businesses, you can appreciate how stressful that is. So if you can keep calm and have 10 businesses going, like, wow.
I'm not stressed at all. I'm living. I'll tell you where it came from as well. Though I can share this. I've literally got it just above the screen here. I can see it's in my eye line. Someone came through with a piece of development, and it was just like, I think it was one of the Greek philosophers said, the purpose of life is a life of purpose. And I could never understand what my purpose was when I was young. I was like, and then I got asked loads of times by lots of self-development gurus and people, what's your purpose? What's your purpose? What's your why? What's your purpose? I'm like, I don't know. I just play records to a few people that dance around. Sometimes they're drunk as well, but that's all I do. And then, the more it kept coming up, the more I just was like, okay, I need to come up with something. And in a quick, long story short, I gave a speech to some students in Manchester. And at the end of that speech, about 10 of them stayed behind and said, thank you so much. That was amazing. I loved hearing about your musical career and your story and everything. It's wonderful. And they all said, this same stuff to me, and it made me feel exactly the same feeling as I got from DJing to 1,000 people in a big nightclub. And I was like, aha, joy. I love my buzz, my joy. My purpose is to bring joy to other people. As long as I can bring joy to other people, I'm a happy man. Right. But then it's got to be more than that. It's got to be knowledge as well, joy, knowledge. And then the things I love to do, inspire people, inspire myself, inspire people, and create. Joy, knowledge.
I'm inspired.
Thank you. Joy, knowledge, inspire, create. Those four things, and I'm buzzing. And my life is a life of purpose. And that, as soon as you get out of bed every day with a life of purpose, you're unstoppable. It's amazing. And so I can focus on 10 different businesses and create every one of them throughout different points of the day by being in my purpose. What's the purpose of this call? It's to bring joy. It's to share something. It's to do something positive, and that's it. And share some knowledge. Great.
That is fantastic. No, I feel your passion. I absolutely feel your passion. I honestly, I can't wait to read your book. I can't wait to read your book. I think I'm not in a hurting place right now. My life is great, but there's so much, I want to find my purpose too. I think I don't know what age you have to be to find your purpose in life or your vocation in life or anything. So now is a great time. Yes.
Decide right now. I just, it took me a while, but ultimately when I made the decision, and it is whatever it's whatever gives you the goosebumps. It's whatever makes you feel good. When I realized that bringing joy to people was my purpose or part of my purpose, I suddenly looked back at 20 years of DJing and went, oh, right. I was doing that anyway without even really being aware of it.
Yes.
But that was the fun bit. That was, okay, fine. That's why I've lived that way for 20 years.
And the compliment to you is when people would get up and dance. So you're directly causing them to have a good time. That feels good.
But then, if my purpose is to bring joy to people, music was the vehicle.
Yes.
Well, guess what? I can actually do that 100 ways. There's 100 ways to bring joy to people.
Sure. Sure.
So music is now still part of my life, and I love it. Of course, I've got a book called Life Remixed. The music's still there. I make some records, I DJ, I do a few things. Life Remixed is great, but there's 100 other ways to make people happy, to do lots of different things.
Yeah.
So each one of my businesses, I get out every day, and I just want to bring joy to people. I want people to have a good day at work. I want them to enjoy what they're doing. And as long as they're doing that, we just keep growing. It's not an accident.
The world, you know, everybody says they want to help people. And it's true, they probably do want to help people, because helping people is very much like improving their lives, is like bringing joy to people. So that's a very important, I want to call it a need, an internal need. We want to help people. We want to support people, especially when you've gone through something like you've gone through, and now you're coming out the other side with all this kind of like knowledge. You've got this great experience and this great knowledge that most of us can't even imagine. And you're taking that to the table and you're packing it into a book.
Well, the story goes, unable to walk for 18 months. I ran 4 marathons, right? And I recovered from unable to walk and suicidal to I ran 4 marathons, London 3 times and Berlin once. And then the story goes, well, bankrupt to millionaire. And millionaire is something, we've got many properties. We own well over £2 million worth of property now. That's something that it just happens. Right. But you just enjoy it.
Yes.
You just enjoy the process. You know, more money comes to you from giving service. So the more service you provide and the better service you provide, the more money you get. And so, you know, money is just something that's happening because I went through all of this stuff. I swam through, like Andy Dufresne in The Shawshank Redemption. I swam through a river of crap and came out the other side smarter and, you know, like that. And just like, okay, I let myself be cleansed and just go, okay. And let's start again. And I started again. And now I live my life as if I'm on the beach. Just, you know, I'm enjoying it every minute.
I love that movie too. That's a really good
movie.
Parallel, a good comparison. Well, good for you. I can't wait for the book to come out. I really look forward to it. And I hope all of the people watching this video will feel the same way, because, you know, we all want to be helped. We all have
I think
a better
we've all got
place to
something
go.
To learn, haven't we? We've all got something to learn.
We've never
It
stopped
doesn't matter.
learning.
It doesn't matter how much money you've got. It doesn't matter how healthy you are. It doesn't matter. Listen, every day, for me, every day is a school day.
Yep. Every day is a school day. I love it. Yeah, exactly. Wow. Well, thank you very much. Thank you so much for speaking with me today. And I look forward to it. All of your congratulations on your success so far. And I'm sure you're going to keep going with it.
We're here to serve, mate. We're here to serve.
Excellent. Thank you so much.